Goes, but before that, players down on one knee. Some see this as a matter of controversy. I see it as a matter of respect. We're underway. Sheffield United against Tottenham Hotspur. It finished 1-1 in London when the sides met back in November. Sheffield United, controversially, had a goal ruled out. A big toe offside. Right, the ball is with Robinson. Robinson over the halfway line, chips it forward just to the left of the penalty area. Osborne chases after it, but can't keep it in place behind for a goal kick. Osborne coming in tonight for Fleck, who's unfortunately picked up yet another injury.
Well, it is. It's another change, and Fleck's been fantastic for the football club so far and grown in confidence. So, as I say, respect people even watching. That's how good a job he'd done around the Premier League, so he will be missed.
Sheffield United on the attack at the moment in the middle of the Spurs half. Shot driven in, and Lloris dives to his left and gathers the ball with both hands. And now the Tottenham goalkeeper sweeps the clearance high towards Harry Kane, headed away by the defender though, into Tottenham's possession, and it's clipped to the near side of the field to Aurier. Aurier in to Sissoko, back to Aurier, and now played on by Lo Celso to Eric Dyer, who again is played in this central defensive role tonight. I gather he's going to get a new contract at Tottenham. On the bench for Spurs, Alderweireld and Vertonghen, they're not getting a look in at the moment.
No, they're not getting a look in, and it's interesting Eric Dyer playing in that 2, not a 3. I was always thinking that possibly would have suited him better, but he's wanted to play at the back, he's wanted to play in that sort of role, and he's now got that opportunity getting the run. I believe he's done very well in these games that he's been given the chance to do so.
Here's Bergwijn on the far side of the field, close to the left touch line, feeding it back to Lo Celso for Tottenham, and now Dyer, and Dyer to Sanchez. Sanchez onto the near side, and Aurier once more, who loves to come forward, but he's passing backwards for the moment, back into the central defensive pairing of Sanchez and Dyer. Now it's down the left flank for Spurs, but that pass is overhit. Son can't collect that, and it's played back to Henderson, the Sheffield United goalkeeper. He's, remember, on loan from Manchester United, but Chris Wilder hoping that he'll also be on loan at Bramall Lane next season. He gets the ball again, way to our right. Sheffield United playing from right to left in this first half, and he clips it high in the direction of McGoldrick and McBurney. Neither of them get there before Dyer. Dyer clears towards the halfway line. Now it's on the far side with Baldock, and Baldock crosses low into the penalty. Neat touch back by McGoldrick towards McBurney, but the return pass from McBurney wasn't correct. Cleared by Tottenham. Appeals for a foul on behalf of Sheffield United, but the referee, I think, played the advantage. He did see an infringement. It's now on the left-hand side with Stevens. Stevens cutting in, now forward, and it's played to the left again. Can they get the ball into the penalty area? Not quite yet. It's blocked, that attempted cross, and it's out of play for a throw-in to Sheffield United. Sheffield United, who go into this game on 44 points, haven't won any of their first 4 games since football resumed, and they've lost the last 3. It's only the second time that's ever happened under Chris Wilder. Now it's going to be a long throw by Robinson into the Tottenham penalty area, high into the penalty area, headed away by Spurs. It's outside their penalty area now. Lo Celso then doesn't control it, and it's taken forward by Sheffield United once more, played to the left hand side. Good pressure from the home side. Now it's back, and once more it's swung in toward the far post. Well defended by Tottenham, but the header doesn't clear the penalty area. It's now inside the penalty area. The cross, did it take a deflection? Well, the assistant on the far side says no, it's behind for a goal kick.
It's a fantastic spell from Sheffield United. They've tried to press very early on this Spurs side and getting in wide areas, wanted to little 1-2s. The overlaps have started from the right and now the left. Fantastic ball in there by Ender Stevens, and you see the aerial threat there of McBurney putting pressure on Eric Dyer. Then Sanderberg sort of sliced the cross out of play, but it's a great start from Sheffield United.
They have started the brighter of the two teams. We played nearly 5 minutes here at Bramall Lane. It remains Sheffield United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Dyer with the ball on the edge of his own penalty area. Onto the left-hand side. Davis sweeps it forward. Good control by Bergwijn. Bergwijn moves into the United half. Plays it to the left-hand side to Son. Son approaching the penalty area. Steps over the ball and then crosses low, hits the defender and rebounds behind for a corner to Tottenham Hotspur. Good response from Spurs.
Fantastic play in the half turn there by Bergwijn, how he pushes it out of his feet, and once Son gets in those wide areas, that little step over. Luckily for Sheffield United, there was the block on the front post, but a great response from Spurs.
Son's going to take this corner. Bergwijn made a run towards him, but it's played into the penalty area, bounces towards the far post, but it couldn't be hooked back by Sissoko. It's behind, and it's a goal kick to Sheffield United. Dangerous corner, not particularly well defended by United.
Yeah, very dangerous there as Son flicks it. It was just that little touch, just trying to watch it back now. I think Eric Dyer got the touch on the front post and it just went past the far post, and I'm not sure if it was Sissoko coming around the back, just couldn't get on the end of it.
Dean Henderson's an interesting position, isn't he? You know, even he clearly would like nothing better than to succeed De Gea at Manchester United were he to return. Maybe he might have to hold off for a while. That would suit Sheffield United, who get a shot in. It's deflected off a defender, easily caught there by Lloris. Lloris on his left foot belts it high towards Harry Kane. Kane seemed to run into the defender Egan, and the referee agrees. It's a free kick to Sheffield United.
Just going back to Dean Henderson there, it's always a difficult decision. He knows he's got every chance of being the Manchester United goalkeeper, but when will that opportunity come? So he's got to be patient, and maybe another 12 months at Sheffield United could be the correct decision for him.
That's certainly the way I've looked at it, you know. But we'll see. And obviously there's been a little bit of pressure on De Gea. Questions about his form. I'm not sure it's actually justified, but there you go.
Alan, this lad will back himself now. Do you know, he's got that confidence. He'll back himself now, say if he keeps making mistakes, I'm your man right now, and he's got confidence.
Stevens with the throw-in for Sheffield United, collected by McGoldrick. McGoldrick plays it away towards the far side of the field, and they get a cross in. It's a low ball played into the penalty. Berger tries to backheel the ball back towards Baldock, didn't get it right, and Spurs counter-attack. It's Son. Son's run at least 60 yards, plays it to his left side, gets it back off a defender, and then Sheffield United, rather hurriedly, smack the ball towards the halfway line. Chested down by Sissoko. Here's Lucas Moura. Moura to Harry Kane, just outside the penalty area. Kane tried to return the pass as Moura rushed forward, but it's intercepted by the Sheffield United defence and cleared to safety over the halfway line. Here's Dyer. On to Davis on the far side of the field, the left full-back. And now Lo Celso. Dyer again. To his fellow central defender Sanchez. Sanchez on to Aurier. Aurier turns back, put under a little bit of pressure there by Osborne. Gets the ball back to Sanchez. Dyer takes it up. On to Davis on the far side now. Tottenham left. Infield to Lo Celso. Lo Celso to Son. Son had dropped deep inside the Sheffield United half. Plays it back to Dyer. This is patient football from Tottenham Hotspur. Now Lucas Moura. Moura over the halfway line. Moves in field ahead of the centre circle. Leaves it for Lo Celso. Lo Celso to Davis. Davis is Bergwijn to his left. Ignores him for the moment. Plays it back to Lo Celso. Now it's with Bergwijn. Bergwijn on the left-hand side for Tottenham. Lo Celso once more. Any criticism of Tottenham is they're just a bit sluggish in getting the ball into the forward positions, Michael. And when they do, well, the passing hasn't always been the best.
Well, we've seen the pace of Son, haven't we?
Yep.
Son go through the middle of the park there, but that's the first time now Spurs have managed to move the ball around, attractive to the eye, but as you said, can the pace increase a little bit quicker? Because Sheffield United are good out of possession. They can get back in, get that five in a good shape, and as you said before, they're very hard to beat.
Here's McGoldrick. Back to Stevens. Stevens just over the halfway line, leaves it for Osborne. Osborne plays it back to Robinson, that goes all the way back to Henderson. Henderson sweeps the ball forward now over the halfway line. Berger jumps. Berger's a tall figure, and Berger wins it not with his head, actually, he wins it with his foot, and plays it to Baldock. Baldock on the right hand side, leaves it for Berger again. No Lundstrom tonight for Sheffield United. No Fleck either. Two important players in their midfield missing. Right. McGoldrick had dropped back and he plays it into his own half. Taken up now by Robinson. Speaking of absentees, they miss O'Connell as well, in defence.
They do.
Big absentee.
Yeah, he's a big absent. He's just got that quality, hasn't he? He's done a fantastic job for such a long time, and he's that balanced. They've had such a steady back five for Sheffield United for such a long time. He is a big miss for them.
Here's Lo Celso. On to Son. Son quite happy to drop deep back into the opposition half to take possession for Tottenham. Plays it back into his defenders again. And now Sanchez to Dyer. Dyer so frequently pops up in the midfield for Tottenham. It's almost unusual to see him in a central defensive position. But now the ball's given away by Sanchez. Sanchez now leaves it for McBurney. McBurney to the near side of the field. Knocked back in by Stevens. Stevens crosses low into the penalty area. And that should be cleared by Tottenham. And is cleared well. Lovely touch on by Kane. Sissoko controls it down off his chest. He's got Son running to his right. Sissoko approaching the penalty. Plays it back to Bergwijn. And that tackle was a little dodgy from the defender. If Bergwijn had gone down, he might have had a hint of a penalty. As it was cleared by Sheffield United. Tottenham in possession once more. And that pass attempted towards Aurier doesn't quite come off. And Sheffield United try to clear the danger, but Spurs back in possession. It's Lucas Moura leaving it for Lo Celso. Lo Celso back to Davis. Kane is on the left-hand side, away from the centre of that Tottenham attack. And it's back on the halfway line with Dyer. Dyer forward. Clicked on by Bergwijn, but only runs to a central defender. That's Egan for Sheffield United. He plays it back to his goalkeeper. And with 12 minutes gone, and the clearance from Henderson over the halfway line, it remains Sheffield United 0, Spurs 0. Here on 5 Live, still to come tonight at 8:15. Full commentary on Manchester City against Liverpool. Ball is in Sheffield United's possession, just short of the halfway line. Now it's swept on towards the edge of the penalty area, but the United player forward, Baldock, I think it was offside. The flag is up from the assistant, and it's a free kick to Tottenham.
Just looking at the Spurs setup now, Eric Dyer's coming very, very tight, trying to win headers, trying to have that physical impact on the game. But they're very narrow. Harry Kane at the top, Lucas Moura and Son, Bergwijn just operating in front of the back three of Sheffield United. Can they get a little bit wider in some areas that can hurt Sheffield United? All through the middle at the moment, and possibly the wide areas could be a better option.
Yeah, they're a bit tight, aren't they, Tottenham? They're three behind Harry Kane. Ball squirts forward by Spurs, but Henderson, alert, comes out to the edge of his penalty area to pick up the ball for his team, Sheffield United. And now he clears it, right-footed, deep. Dyer is ready for it, heads it firmly away back towards the halfway line. Basham brings it under control. Basham runs forward, taking it past Son. Plays the ball to his right to Pollock. Basham is still in the attack here, midway inside the Tottenham half. Taken up by McBurney. Goes into the penalty area, but out comes the goalkeeper, Lloris, diving bravely, catches the ball. I don't think he was hurt in the challenge by Basham. No, he's all right. He's back on his feet.
What I do know is a good move. Basham thought about it. He's gone such a long way to get in front of Hugo Lloris. The ball's short, and you have that 1 second to decide. Do you slide into the goalkeeper? On this occasion, he knew he was going to be second best, and probably that was my downfall, Alan. I didn't know when I was beaten I would always go for it.
You're going.
I managed to get a friend of mine,
any harm.
Chris Kirkland, I got, Alan. We played Liverpool here at Bramall Lane, and I went straight through him, and then he become my teammate at Wigan, and then he worked with me at Port Vale, so we always have a bit of a giggle about it.
And in training, he didn't kick you at Wigan, did he?
He tried, Kirky. Kirky doesn't kick anybody. Great lad.
Nice guy, really nice guy. Ball's out of play on the far side of the field. Throw into Sheffield United. 14 minutes gone here at Bramall Lane. You're listening to 5 Live on the BBC, and so far it's 0-0. Sheffield United and Spurs, a game that, well, the emphasis for both teams is to take all 3 points tonight. That would revive their hopes of a European place come the end of the season. Now, taken up by Bergwijn. Bergwijn halfway inside the Sheffield United half. Plays it to Son. Son was under pressure, as you would expect from this home team. Sheffield United win the ball, and it's on the far side of the field. Berger into Osborne. Osborne in the centre circle. On it comes to the left side, and Stevens. Stevens taps it to his left, where Robinson had come forward from the central defence, but ball goes straight out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur. We see Chris Wilder all the time. I assume Jose is sitting down in the dugout. Haven't seen him in the 6-yard box, so to speak, so far. United 0, Spurs 0. Here's Dyer. Dyer for Tottenham. On to the near side, and Sissoko into Bergwijn. Bergwijn's touch was accurate. Back to Lo Celso. Sissoko once more. He's looking for someone down the left side, and there wasn't anybody there. So, taken up by Lucas Moura. Moura approaching the penalty area. Taps it to his right. Aurier overhits the cross, and that's behind for a goal kick. As soon as Sissoko got the ball, you could see him look up to the left, and the three that sit behind Harry Kane had all congested into central positions.
Well, that's the problem for them. There's no out ball, as we've just been discussing. If Sheffield United get narrow and they get out of possession, they should be able to stop those balls. Spurs at the moment want to thread them in fast and try and get Bergwijn turning, trying to get Lucas Moura on the run. Just coming out there, they obviously managed to work it, coming to Aurier at full back. It's a simple cross. You've got Harry Kane on the edge of the 6-yard box, and he puts it right over the top out of play. A very, very poor cross from him.
Right. Long kick forward by Henderson, met by the Spurs defence, who clear to the halfway line. And now Moura heads it on to Son. Back to Moura, taken up by Lo Celso and Sissoko. Aurier free to his right, but maybe there was a United defender rather too close in attendance, so he chose to play it the other way. And now it's with Davis, the left full back. Back to Dyer, and Dyer a couple of yards short of the centre circle, looking for movement ahead of him. It's played to the left to Davis once more, and inevitably back to Dyer, because they're not proper movement in forward positions from Tottenham. Now it's with Aurier, the right full-back. Aurier on to Bergwijn. Back to Aurier. Aurier skips forward to the right of the penalty. Plays it in low, and Son saw it late and couldn't control the ball. It skimmed off either his knee or his chest, maybe both. Back to Henderson.
It was a good opportunity, wasn't it? They managed to find the pass inside, which played out wide. As the ball comes in this time, a bit of quality from Aurier. Basham just couldn't reach it. I don't think Son anticipated it, and it just went off his chest straight into Henderson. So fortunate for Sheffield United, but that's better from Spurs. Forward pass early and rotating with the full-backs getting higher.
Yeah, it was the first proper opportunity for either side in the game. 18 minutes gone. Still Sheffield United 0, Spurs 0. Free kick now to Sheffield United towards this near touchline. That's their left in the first half. It's going to be taken by Robinson. And Robinson hits it high towards McBurney, who gets his head to the ball but directs it in the wrong way, and it harmlessly bounces through to Lloris. Lloris clears it left-footed in the direction of Kane on the far side of the field, and Kane, perhaps he was partly looking at the defender, took his eye slightly off the ball, and it squirts off his boot out of play for a throw-in.
Just looking down at the players that Spurs have, we've mentioned Sheffield United missing several key players. We talk about the bench for Spurs, Alan. Harry
exactly.
Wilkes, Harry Winks, Dele Alli, Lamela, Vertonghen, Alderweireld, Ndombele at 50 million. They've certainly got good players, haven't they, to be doing better than what they've done so far this season.
Yeah, and you think that Sheffield United can't even name 9 subs. They've only got 7 subs on the bench. They're so stretched the resources. Ball is back with Lloris, the Tottenham goalkeeper. Throws it out underarm to Sanchez. Sanchez to Lo Celso. Back to Sanchez once more. On to Aurier. Sanchez again. But it's a little bit static in the forward positions for Tottenham. Not enough movement so far in these opening 20 minutes. Here they have it though. Son on to Bergwijn on the left flank. Back to Lo Celso. Lo Celso miscontrols it, and then a challenge comes in and the ball goes out of play. It'll be a Tottenham throw-in just beyond the halfway line. Taken quickly by Davis, back to Dyer. Tottenham had one more point than Sheffield United going into this game. They're 2 places better off. They're in 8th spot, but the spots they're both looking at are the top 5. If they can remotely get there, seems unlikely.
It is at the moment, but that's why this game is so important for them, to try and close that gap.
Sanchez to Moura. Moura chests the ball in the direction of Harry Kane. Didn't quite get it right. Sheffield United pick up possession, and then good tackle by Sissoko. Sissoko manages to direct the ball back to Sanchez. Swept by Lo Celso to Davis, and Davis on towards Son. Didn't quite get the pass right. Intercepted by Basham, and Basham smacks it into the stand on the far side of the field. It'll be a throw-in to Tottenham, level with the front edge of the Sheffield United penalty area. Taken by Lo Celso, back to Davis. Davis to Bergwijn. Sheffield United have lots of defenders in position there, and as the ball squirts back off a player, it turned out to be a Tottenham player, and it's behind for a goal kick.
So there's something different there that Spurs had worked on. Davies got the ball in the left back position. Son went to come short. Basham sort of went tight with him. He then spun into the channel. The ball just didn't have that quality. But that's what you would be looking for from Spurs. Can they turn Sheffield United round? Can they use the spaces in wide areas, especially against a back 3 that want to get forward? So the space is there at times.
Henderson with the goal kick, headed on by McBurney on the far side of the field. McGoldrick chases after it, putting pressure on Dyer, and Dyer just forced to clip the ball out of play. It'll be a throw into Sheffield United. Only 12 yards from the corner flag on their right flank. To be taken by Baldock. Baldock waits for movement. No significant movement. Now there is from McGoldrick. McGoldrick collected the ball, but he couldn't control it, and it's out of play again, this time for a Tottenham throw-in. I've often wondered, in the absence of crowds, and there's nothing that can be done about that, Michael, is it primarily a disadvantage for the home team? Sheffield United would have Blades fans screaming in support in a game like this, and yet it's relatively silent.
Well, it can be, and that's where you see I was again having this conversation yesterday regarding the stats, the data, that's slightly down for not having that sort of that adrenaline when you're going forward and that crowd behind you, putting a team in the back 4, you do that extra run, and we all miss it. But it's great to still be seeing the football here.
Oh, here's Bergwijn onto Kane. Kane in the penalty area, smacked the shot in, and that wasn't far wide of the upright. It's behind for a goal kick. That was a half chance for Harry Kane, and now there is a chance for a drinks interval for both teams.
Well, it's to end on a positive note before these drinks. It's Bergwijn getting in those areas, Alan. That's what they want, and you can see they're trying to work on that, where he can turn round and attack at Sheffield United. But you're seeing straight away as he rolls Harry Kane in down that right-hand side, you don't have to ask him twice. Harry Kane, he lets that shot away into the sort of just wide of the side netting, and you'd expected maybe he could have done it a little bit better, but he's finally got a strike away.
I mean, a shot, a foot to the left, it would have been in. I don't think Henderson was getting it. Anyway, it's still 0-0 here at Bramall Lane. What news of Hull and Middlesbrough? Alistair Yeomans.
Coming up to the hour mark, Alan, it's still Hull 1, Middlesbrough 1. One decent chance for each side in the second half. The sub, Lewis Potter, cut inside from the left for Hull, but skewed his shot over. Hayden Coulson for Borough, his glancing header wide. Good first half. The second half, not quite so good. But let's just remember that these two are in the bottom 5 of the Championship. It's 1-1.
Thanks, Alistair. There's another, obviously, newcomer to the game since the play has resumed in the Premier League. These drinks intervals, midway point at each half, might they be kept on for a fresh season?
I'm not so sure they'll be kept on going into a new season, depending on the timings, when everybody finishes, when the next one can start, etc. I think it's been a sensible decision. The players coming back, you've seen how quick the games, not so much Spurs on this occasion having a quick game in succession, unlike Sheffield United, and we might see that physically towards the end of this game where Spurs could actually kick on. But Yeah, I think it's important. They can just have that little rest, and the medical staff can assess them. Anyone's got that little bit of tightness, that stiffness, can maybe just have a look at them to make sure that there's not a tear in a muscle, for instance.
Game has resumed. 0-0 between Sheffield United and Tottenham Hotspur. The ball is with Sheffield United over the halfway line with Robinson. Robinson plays it to Stevens. Stevens' pass forward wasn't great, and decided to play off a Tottenham player, and it's going to be a throw into Sheffield United. Well, Stevens wants to take it. Took it and didn't find his target, but it was almost given back to him by Aurier, and now it's played forward again by Sheffield United. Ball's on the edge of the penalty area. Osborne to the left, and Stevens back to Robinson. Robinson declines to cross into the penalty area as he might have done. Instead, it's back now with Basham. Basham hits it long in the direction of Stevens, but it's too long for him, and it's behind for a goal kick.
It's just a waste there from Basham. He's tried to put that diagonal pass out to the left-hand side for Ender Stevens. But, Spurs you thought they were comfortable, and Sheffield United put the pressure on very quickly. We're seeing it again now. They're charging onto this Spurs side, especially in the... Yeah,
it forces a mistake from Aurier, and the ball's inside the Tottenham penalty area. And Sanchez was lucky to get away with that, and then there's a foul by McGoldrick, and that's a relieving free kick for Tottenham Hotspur. Not sure who the player is that he caught.
I think it's Lo Celso.
He's okay. He's back on his feet. Didn't make too much of it, thank goodness. So the free kick is outside the Tottenham penalty area, to the right of it. And did it matter? Because Lloris took it where he wanted to take it. And actually, it wasn't clever from Lloris, because he immediately put Dyer under pressure, but they escaped that, and it's played down the left-hand side. Son back to Bergwijn taps it in to Lo Celso. Now Sissoko, Lo Celso onto the left-hand flank, and it's with Son. Son shoots it in just too high for Harry Kane, into the relieving hands of Dean Henderson.
I just feel like when Son gets the ball, something will happen. That creativity. This time from the left-hand side, he pulls it back on his right foot. But they have that understanding, him and Harry Kane. The ball's fizzed in right to the 6-yard area, just out the reach of Kane.
It's down that left side again for Tottenham. Bergwijn gets past the defender, pulls the ball back. Lucas Moura controls it. Sissoko shoots it goal, but it was all along the ground, and it was only sort of half hit. Easy save for Henderson.
It was a good little spell. It's the first opportunity on target for Spurs. Down the left-hand side, Bergwijn again pulls it back. It falls quite fortunate actually for Sissoko. I actually thought he could have done better. We've seen him hit really, really strong efforts. I was expecting him to put his foot right through it, and
didn't do it.
He just tried to guide it, and it just didn't catch it right with his side foot. It was a comfortable save in the end from Henderson.
Thrown on the far side to Sheffield United to be taken by Basham, one of their 3 central defenders, just over the halfway line. Basham has at least 3 targets to aim for. Hasn't taken the throw in yet. Berger moves towards him, and the ball goes to Berger. Berger now plays it into the centre circle, and on it goes towards this near side of the field. It's with Robinson to Stevens. Stevens back to Osborne delayed, and that allowed Sissoko to intercept. Poor from Osborne, and then poor from Sissoko. His touch wasn't clever, and in trying to retain possession, he ran into Egan. I thought there was a foul on Egan there, but not given by the referee. Instead, it's a Tottenham throw-in. So there's a mistake by Osborne, a mistake by Sissoko. Anyway, the throw-in being taken by Tottenham, and there's a foul on Lucas Moura, and it's a free kick to Tottenham, about 35 yards from goal though.
Well, I think one thing you can hear when there's no crowd, Alan, you can hear when the bench, the substitutes, the staff are frustrated with the referee. They thought there could have been a foul initially on John Egan, and then a soft foul possibly on McGoldrick. That's 2 in a row, and they certainly weren't pleased down below us.
Yeah, I thought there was a foul on Egan. I was surprised when that wasn't given. Anyway, this is surely far too far out to shoot a goal. Harry Kane has come towards the ball. Kane is there. He wants it. Harry Kane wants it. Well, maybe he thinks it's within reach. but it's at least 35 yards out. Plenty of sky blue shirts in and around those United defenders. Kane shoots, and it's high and wide. And even if it had been on target, I'm sorry, it would not have troubled Henderson.
Did you think for 1 minute there it could have?
No.
No, I'm looking, going, Harry Kane, he's got a great strike. Has he got something we've not seen? He tries to hit that ball with a movement on the valve, but when it doesn't go right, it certainly doesn't look good. And well, he was confident. He fancied it, didn't he? Come a long way to take it. It was almost 30. As you said,
goal,
easy 35.
I would have been screaming in praise for him. Absolutely. But I just thought, no, Harry, that's a bit far out. Anyway, he didn't get it on target. It's a goal kick to Sheffield United. We've got 15 minutes left in the first half. You're listening to 5 Live on the BBC. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0 here at Bramall Lane. Bergwijn on the far side, beaten by an aggressive challenge from a Sheffield United player. Now it's on the left side for Sheffield United with Stevens. Stevens cuts inside away from Aurier, plays it forward to Berger. Good touch by Berger to the right. And now Baldock into the penalty, clips it on, promising here for Sheffield United. Berger shoots, 1-0 Sheffield United. They built it well. Berger initiated the ball to the right-hand side, couple more passes. He took the ball inside the penalty area, and the shot was true to the right of Lloris. Sheffield United lead by a goal to 0.
Well, what a goal it is. If you didn't know what type of football Sheffield United played, what the talk was early on in the season about the overlaps, the delay was perfect. Basham got down to the byline, they rolled it in nice, the cutback was perfect, but Sander Berg had that little bit of composure not to over it, to take the touch with his right foot, and he shot right across Hugo Lloris into the far corner. A wonderful finish from a wonderful move.
To be fair to Lloris, I think his view of the shot was slightly obscured by two of his defenders, but nevertheless it was on target, and it's 1-0. And now, with Sheffield United's stout defensive record in the Premier League this season, how important a goal might that be?
Well, very important. It was the way they worked the goal, wasn't it? The timing, the understanding of players. Basham, they delayed it, they knew he was coming, he just got that little roll in. I really like Basham there, normally just to fire the ball across. He didn't. He picked out his
Spurs trying to get back here. Ball breaks to Kane inside the penalty. Kane shoots and it's 1-1. It's 1-1. A major response from the North London side. Initially it was Moore who broke forward, then he went down just on the edge of the penalty area, but the ball was deflected to Harry Kane. Coolness personified. Kane stepped to the left of the defender and shot low to the right of Henderson, and it's 1-1. So much for that important first goal for Sheffield United.
Well, they'll be disappointed with this. They thought there was an initial foul. The referee, Chris Kavanagh, played the advantage, and it fell fortunate from one long ball into Kane's path. He pulled it into his left foot. As Henderson stood big, he might be a little bit disappointed, and he just trickles into the far corner. Just lost a bit of balance. He went with his foot, Henderson, but it was a good finish from Harry Kane. 19
goals from an injury-disrupted season for Harry Kane. Oh, well, they're looking at VAR. Now, let's see what the decision is. Possible handball.
It might have hit Lucas Moura's hand as he falls down to gain that advantage to take it into Harry Kane's path.
He did sort of sweep out his right arm towards the ball. Whether he made contact, it's very difficult to see from the replays. But the ball broke in the end to Harry Kane. What is the VAR decision? So many decisions have gone against Sheffield United this season. What's the referee given?
I don't think he can give it.
It's a handball. Goal disallowed. There you go, VAR for once in support of Sheffield United.
Well, it was, and they'll be feeling for it. You can just see the conversations down below us with the officials. But what's crazy as well in it, Alan, is the foul was on Lucas Moura. He was pushed to the floor.
Yep.
The referee give the advantage, but then it comes off his arm into the path of Harry Kane.
And Jose Mourinho, unsurprisingly, disputes the decision. I don't think he's disputing the handball. I think he's saying that the player was fouled and therefore fell into the ball.
But the official's going to say, I've played the advantage, so now I've got to go back to the incident that allowed to play, Alan.
There you go. Well, how often has VAR and other decisions gone against Sheffield United this season? Notably that in their first game back in the resumption at Villa Park, when clearly they'd scored and the goal didn't stand, but they got away with a big one there, and they still lead by 1-0. 10 minutes to go to half time. Free kick to Sheffield United. Henderson.
Alan, what did you say before the game?
I just didn't want VAR involved.
Well,
but, you know,
you maybe should have kept quiet, Alan.
It's
certainly
well, a lot of people think I should keep quiet. Shall I put this face mask up?
Well, you know this is going to be talked about yet again, that's for sure.
Well, throw in to Sheffield United, near side of the field. And it's level with the edge of the Tottenham penalty area. Robinson's going to take it. He gets great length with these throws. And McBurney and McGoldrick waiting inside the 6-yard box. It finds a Tottenham head. Headed away, though, straight to Robinson. Robinson back to Osborne. Osborne crosses in. The header on over the crossbar from McBurney. Goal kick.
So difficult to defend. They don't look fully comfortable, the Spurs side, with a long throw. Come back out, it worked again. And when the ball comes over at McBurney, there just wasn't enough pace in the ball for his header to get over the bar from McBurney.
All right, so it's 1-0 here to Sheffield United. I wonder what the news is in the game between Hull and Middlesbrough. Alistair Yeomans.
Well, it's very tense, Alan. Not surprisingly, the state these two teams are in. I think if anyone could score at the moment, it's Borough. It's 1-1 still with 17 minutes to go. A shot just flashing past the Hull goal there. But it's Hull 1, Middlesbrough 1.
Thanks, Alistair. So we've had one goal, another goal disallowed by VAR, and Sheffield United lead 1-0. And Sheffield United, if they beat Tottenham tonight, will go above Spurs to within 4 points of Manchester United and Wolves. Still gives them hope, outside hope of a Champions League spot, but certainly definitely in contention for a Europa League place. They're on the attack at the moment. Ball's inside the Tottenham penalty area, but cleared by Dyer. Mora brings it down, plays it back to Sissoko. Sissoko's pass wasn't great, but it sort of hits a United player, rebounds to Tottenham possession. They've got the ball inside the centre circle at the moment. The Celso back to Davis, and now Dyer. And Dyer plays it behind Sanchez. Sanchez has to chase it, keeps it in Spurs possession, plays a more accurate pass back to Dyer. And now it's on the Celso over the halfway line. Davies is down the left flank. The pass is shorter to Bergwijn. Bergwijn to Davis. Davis halfway inside the United half. Tottenham keeping possession. Dyer's on the halfway line, finding Sanchez. We've got 8 minutes to go to half time, or thereabouts. Obviously the hold up with the VAR decision, and of course the drinks interval. It's cleared by Sheffield United into the Tottenham half, but for the moment Sheffield United just holding defensive positions.
Well, they are. Feel like finally VAR's come back and help them. Spurs side, I mean, it is a strange one, isn't it, Alan? Yeah, I think the rule's there, but they've been really unfortunate there as he's fouled. He doesn't know anything about it. Yes, is it the correct decision? Yes, it is, but very unfortunate for Spurs there not to get that equaliser. But and Sheffield United will be saying, well, it's happened to us on several occasions.
I think ultimately, Michael, VAR doesn't favour any particular teams. It just happens. It influences the game. Now there's a free kick, a foul by Robinson, and a free kick to Tottenham. Now this is rather closer than the one Harry Kane hit earlier at Henderson's goal, and there's a yellow card there for Robinson. The free kick is slightly towards the inside right position of the Spurs attack. Kane not involved. He's inside the United penalty area. 7 minutes to half time. Sheffield United leading by 1-0. The Celso's come across. Son perhaps favoured to hit it. They're making up their minds here. Son to take it. Is he? Taking his time. Referee finally blows his whistle. He's happy. No, it's Lo Celso. Left-footed over the wall. Comes off the top of the wall and goes behind for a goal kick. Was it a yellow card for Norwood, not Robinson?
Yeah, I think it was, Alan. I think so.
Thank you. old age, blindness, deafness, you name it, I've got it. Corner kick to Tottenham. Played in left-footed, deep towards the far post. Again, a Sheffield United head gets the ball first. Then Henderson punches clear. He would claim that he was fouled by Bergwijn, but it's cleared. Now there's another free kick to Tottenham for a foul on Son. Pressure mounting on the home side. Can't keep on giving free kicks away in dangerous positions like this. This one's to the left of the penalty area as Spurs look at it. They've got Dyer and Sanchez both in attacking positions inside the penalty area. They're anticipating a cross. The angle's too acute surely for a shot. Son delivers very well from this kind of position. Harry Kane, having heard what's going to happen from the people likeliest to take the free kick, he moves into an attacking position for a header, and Son steps back a few yards. Two players facing him in a Sheffield United wall. Every other Sheffield United player back in the penalty area. Played in low, skips off a Sheffield United head. Then a second one. The header in this occasion from McBurney was better, and it's headed away to relative safety, goes out of play, and it'll be a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur.
And the delivery's good. It's just that first contact in the box. Sheffield United on this occasion got that.
Throw-in goes to Sanchez. Sanchez back to Dyer in the centre circle, and on towards Davis on the far side of the field. The pass was slightly under-hit by Dyer. Davis had to react swiftly and had no option but to play the ball all the way back to Lloris. Lloris quickly out now to Sanchez. Sheffield United 1, Spurs 0. Still to come tonight on 5 Live. Manchester City and Liverpool. That game kicks off at the Etihad at 8:15. The ball's with Henderson. The comment you made about Henderson and the initial shot from Kane that we thought was an equalising goal. Again, I thought he was slightly too easily beaten to his right-hand side.
He got himself set, and I think because Kane doesn't get any power on it, he's expecting the powerful shot. He sort of just goes back on his heels, he sort of gets stuck, and he tries to bring his right foot up, but he can't because he's already planted his heels into the ground, and he'd be disappointed. He's got a let off there because he should have done better. Kane didn't have a great contact, although he guided it in the correct position.
Final few minutes of the first half here at Bramall Lane. This is 5 Live on the BBC that you're listening to. Spurs trailing to the home side, Sheffield United, by a goal to 0. Bergwijn over the halfway line, controls it well, has to retreat into his own half though to keep the ball. Now it's forward to Lo Celso. His first touch was poor, but so was the defensive clearance by Sheffield United. Sanchez on to Lucas Moura, tried to squeeze the pass through to Harry Kane, cleared by United once more. Moura retreats towards the halfway line, plays it back to Sanchez, and Sanchez to Dyer. Davis available on the far side, the left full back, and it's played swiftly to him. Son goes towards that left flank. Davis in field for the moment, plays it back to Dyer. Sheffield United happy in these remaining minutes in the first half to just hold defensive positions inside their own half. They're leading. Why should they be thinking about anything else? Davis on the far side, back to Dyer. Dyer in the centre circle again. Sweeps it to the right flank to Aurier. Aurier forward to Kane. Kane back to Moura. Moura's pass doesn't find a sky blue shirt, and it's cleared by Sheffield United. McGoldrick jump. Suspicion that he may have handled that ball. Not seen by any official, if he did do. And Sheffield United still have it. It's with McBurney. McBurney holds off 2 players. Then his pass was slightly under hit, and it's intercepted. Lo Celso sprints away over the halfway line. McBurney is McGoldrick's chasing after him. Now it's taken up by Son inside the penalty area. Son back to Aurier. Aurier plays the cross in. Simple header out of defence by Sheffield United, and McGoldrick clears it to the left side at Osborne. Osborne just waits for some support, and they play it back defensively at United. Now it's Robinson who hits it out, and Stevens doesn't find a colleague. Lo Celso collects it. Lo Celso 30 yards out, flicks the ball to the left hand side. Davis into the penalty area, tries to cross, deflects off a defender. Then it's Sissoko, sweeps it to the right side, and Aurier doesn't cross, plays it on, and it's taken up by Sissoko. Sissoko plays it towards the far post. Half chance here. Ball played in by Lo Celso. Hits a defender. They were under a huge pressure there, Sheffield United. but survived that score. Maybe not this one. Aurier into the penalty. Good challenge by Osborne. It's behind for a corner.
It was a great response by Spurs. They've really put Sheffield United in the closing minutes of this first half right on the back foot. They're moving the ball from left to right. And just by a wonderful block by Chris Basham there to stop it coming in. I'm not sure who was getting the shot away, but real desperate defending.
So Lo Celso to take the corner from the right-hand side for Tottenham. He's going to play it in left-footed. Henderson beware in that Sheffield United goal. Played in towards the near post, and the header on by Lucas Moura over the top behind for a goal kick. 3 minutes of added time at the end of the first half here at Bramall Lane. We're into those 3 added minutes. I'm sure Mourinho's still furious at the disallowing by VAR of Harry Kane's equaliser. Wonder if he'll hang around to talk to the referee Chris Kavanagh as he comes off at half time. He'll doesn't make any point.
He'll have something to say about it in the post-match interviews, I'm sure.
He will.
We'll hear some side of it, some different angle. But you can see why they'd be disappointed. You put all the work in, and it's such a harsh rule at times.
Yeah, and certainly since Sheffield United took the lead, Tottenham have been the better side, more threatening side. But they're still trailing 1-0. 2 minutes of added time remaining at the end of the first half. Lo Celso chips it forward towards Harry Kane. Robinson jumps, heads it away, and it's on by Osborne into the chest of Lo Celso, and out to play for a throw into Sheffield United. They won't be in any hurry to take this. It's going to be left for Robinson to take. Stevens just walked past the possible throw-in. Robinson short of the halfway line, left side for Sheffield United, throws it down this touchline, and it's headed on by a Tottenham player. Runs to McGoldrick holding off, a challenge by Aurier. Sanchez is there, Sanchez clears it, and Lucas Moura runs forward. He's tackled, but the ball breaks kindly for Tottenham. Son onto Kane. Son seemed to be fouled there. Kane has the ball though. Play continues. Tottenham search for the equaliser before half-time. Good ball forward to Moura. Moura then dilly-dallied on the edge of the D, was challenged not once but twice by Sheffield United players. Osborne made the important challenge, and United have the ball again. Clip forward by Stevens, and that's good work. Osborne and McBurney. McBurney now turns towards the penalty area, the Tottenham penalty area. He's into it now. Didn't get it past the defender, and Aurier clips it towards the halfway line, towards Kane. Kane challenges aggressively for the ball twice and wins it for Spurs. Breaks on the far side to Davis. About 40 seconds of added time remaining at the end of the first half. Sheffield United leading by a goal to nil. On it goes to the far side. Played in from the Tottenham left, but cleared immediately by Sheffield United, determined to hang on to this lead to go into the interval. Lo Celso for Tottenham to Davis, back to Lo Celso, and Lo Celso drives it towards this right side. He overhits that ball, doesn't find a colleague, and it's out of play, and that should be half time. It'll be a delayed throw-in by Sheffield United, delayed so long the referee said, I've had enough of that, it's half time, blows his whistle.
It was an entertaining one. I think the work rate, the desires there from Sheffield United, which Eric Dyer now asking Chris Kavanagh the decision, why has he done it? They're all surrounding the officials, but you've got to give the teams credit. The Spurs reacted. Harry Kane, unfortunate as we know, and then put the pressure right on till the end. So real entertaining first half.
They're still talking the Spurs backroom staff now. Wisely, Jose Mourinho's kept out of this. He'll be in the dressing room ready to talk to his team, try to rejuvenate them, try to press them on to get an equaliser, which frankly they deserve before half-time, but they haven't got it, and it's an important lead, Michael Brown, for Sheffield United.
It's a very important lead, but you just see fatigue. Can these guys keep showing the work rate, the desire? Just watch McBurney come all the way back from a centre-forward position to go sit on the deep-lying player really late on in the game. So the energy levels are high. But Spurs now are starting to tick the ball, move it around a little bit quicker. I'm sure that's what Jose Mourinho will be saying at half-time. Let's do a bit more of the same as we ended, but do it a little bit quicker.
Half-time, Sheffield United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
And we are going to keep talking about that decision as well, I'm afraid. It's got everybody talking. 85058 at 5 Live Sport. Roy, from a neutral point of view, I just can't agree with VAR there. Mora was fouled. The advantage led to a goal. Surely the logical decision would be to go back to a free kick at most. Nick, there was me thinking the VAR call at West Ham was bad yesterday. That handball decision is unfathomable. And Lee, might be the correct decision, but the handball law is ludicrous. And that, Michael, nails it, I think. This is not a VAR issue. It's a handball issue. And it goes back to even before the season when some of us went to a briefing about how VAR was going to be implemented, and we were told with handball, it doesn't have to be deliberate if it leads to a goal. So I get all of that, but when you see something like that, it still makes a farce of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and we've seen it on several occasions now where they've been very, very harsh. And you know, the officials there, you've got to say, VAR, Alan said he doesn't want to really see them today, but we definitely did, and they got it right. So they got the decision correct, they're managing the correct way, and then you're saying, are they going to bring it back before the advantage was given? So I don't think the officials can do that. It's like we've just said, it's the law, the rules, and that's what's difficult to take. And we want to watch football, we want to see goals, and that's really harsh on Spurs.
The irony is, as Alan said in commentary, Sheffield United have had very few of these go their way, but this is the second one this season of that type. It happened against West Ham as well. Declan Rice thought he'd scored a last-minute winner for West Ham, but someone had booted the ball into his arm, so it was disallowed. Is that law wrong? Should handball be one thing or the other, not dependent on whether or not it leads to a goal?
Well, yeah, we had a different rule for many, many years, and now it's just, I don't know, we've got to try and go with the advantage. For me, it doesn't sit right, and all these goals getting disallowed, and people at home not... So watch it on TV when you're a supporter in the ground. You don't really know. You've not got the, obviously like us, having the replays, and it's just so tough to take. I mean, he's being fouled as he falls down, and there's the tiniest of contacts, and then Harry Kane goes on. I mean, I think one person who'll be glad will be Henderson. He probably could have done better for the goal.
Michael Allen, thank you very much for the time being. I don't think that controversy is going to go away. Tottenham denied an equaliser. Harry Kane denied his second goal in 2 games. Is this the real Sheffield United back, though? They lead Tottenham Hotspur by 1-0 at the break. Shortly, we'll take you back to the Etihad Stadium and continue the build-up to our second commentary of the evening on 5 Live Sport, which is Manchester City against the new champions of England, Liverpool. It's still Hull 1, Middlesbrough 1, by the way, in the Championship. They're just approaching stoppage time there. We'll get the news now on 5 Live with Faye Rusco.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live. The government's published plans to keep classes or year groups in separate bubbles when schools in England fully reopen in September. The guidelines say if 2 children test positive for the virus, then the entire school could be temporarily shut down. The Education Secretary is Gavin Williamson.
The safety of those children going into school and those who work in school is absolutely our top priority. But we mustn't at any stage forget about the value that schools bring to every child, and actually how much we all need to ensure that every child is back into that classroom.
But unions say ministers must have a backup plan if a full return to school in the autumn isn't deemed to be safe. People in Scotland will have to wear face coverings when they visit shops from the 10th of July. The First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon's, also ordered a further scientific study of the 2-metre physical distancing rule after it was announced a 1-metre plus system would be introduced in England on Saturday. Ghislaine Maxwell, an ex-girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein, has been arrested and charged in the US with helping to recruit and groom his victims known to be underage. She's previously denied any wrongdoing. The owner of Bella Italia, Café Rouge and Las Iguanas say it plans to cut 1,900 jobs after calling in administrators. Casual Dining Group says it will close more than a third of its 250 restaurants because of the pandemic. Nearly 750 people have been arrested after a massive operation cracked a secure messaging system used by organised crime networks across Europe. Firearms, drugs and tens of millions of pounds in cash have been recovered. And the police officer stabbed during an attack at a hotel in Glasgow has been discharged from hospital. Constable David White, who's 42, thanked medical staff at the Queen Elizabeth University Hospital for saving his life.
What
a year that was.
The first day feels
watching the sunset over the festival at the Glastonbury sign,
watching night turn to day.
Everyone is smiling.
I will never forget the day Glastonbury turned pink.
By Glasgow! A Glastonbury to remember.
It was amazing.
Relive the best of the festival. Watch on BBC iPlayer. Listen on BBC Sound.
I'm very excited.
The BBC, bringing us closer.
This is 5 Live Sport
with Steve Crossman.
Stoppage time in the Championship. A massive goal in the game between Hull and Middlesbrough. Alistair Yeomans.
And Hull City have withstood immense pressure from Middlesbrough in this second half. But Hull have scored in the second minute of stoppage time. Malik Wilks, whose loan period from Barnsley ended this week, they've managed to sign him on permanent terms in the penalty area, 8 yards out, hooked the ball home with the outside of his foot. Hull City lead Middlesbrough 2-1, and they'll leapfrog them at this stage, and Hull City will come out of the relegation zone if they can hang on for another 90 seconds.
Wow, and that will leave the bottom of the table looking like this. Luton bottom on 40, then Barnsley on 41, Stoke third bottom on 43, then Neil Warnock's Middlesbrough fourth bottom on 44. Very, very tight down the bottom of the Championship. Hull City moving up to 19th in the table, and we've got a minute of stoppage time left. That is absolutely huge for them. In the Premier League, Sheffield United won Tottenham 0 at half-time in our 6 o'clock commentary game, so we'll be back at Bramall Lane shortly for the second half. After that at 8:15, it's Manchester City against Liverpool in the Premier League. Our correspondent John Murray is at the Etihad alongside Dion Dublin. Good evening, chaps.
Hello, good evening.
Well, the points total, let's start with that, Dion, because I've just been doing the math. So Liverpool need 5 wins from 7 to get to 101 points, set a new record, beat City's total from 2017-18. That will be important to fans, having won the title. Will it be important to the players?
Not as, I don't think. I'm not sure if that's something that's going to be in the forefront of players' minds. Fans will want all the accolade, they'll want all the titles, all the silverware, but the players themselves will be thinking, you know what, they may get it. They may just get it. But that's just through the players doing the right thing, heads down. And if the points come, the points come. If they don't, they don't. It's not about that for me. That's not the title they want, so to speak. They've got the title they want. And you know what, Steve? I think they'll build on this as well.
I guess that's the thing, John. Whether or not them building on it really has anything to do with how they finish the season or not.
Yes, they've got their name in the history books. That's what they wanted. If they get a load of entries in the record books, great. But it was the history books they wanted their names in. And yeah, as we were saying a little earlier, how significant it is, how they finish the season, we'll only know in the fullness of time. But listen, if you look at Jurgen Klopp and what he did at Borussia Dortmund, it does jump out at me the fact that when they won the league, the Bundesliga, for the first time under him, they did defend it the next season. So he's got that little bit of experience in his locker. And as we were mentioning earlier, to come off the back of what they did in the Champions League final in Madrid last year and then start so well this season, he's got a track record of being able to follow up big success with further success.
We're going to hear from Jurgen Klopp in a second, but it's just finished at Hull. Alistair Yeomans.
Hull City 2, Middlesbrough 1. It was drifting to a draw. Then Malik Wilks popped up in the second minute of the stoppage time to score for Hull City. Their first win in 14, their first victory since New Year's Day. A massive win for Hull City. They've beaten Borough by 2-1.
The body language of the Middlesbrough players as well, just watching them as they go off the pitch, they're absolutely devastated. Great result though for Hull City. Neil Warnock's Middlesbrough still in massive relegation danger. So if Liverpool are going to break the points record, 5 wins from 7 required, they'll need to show the sort of incredible consistency that has seen them fail to win only 3 Premier League games all season. So what is the secret to that? Here's Jurgen Klopp.
It's the concentration level, it's the not thinking about the last game,
It's the club, it's the pressure we get from the size of the club. It's pretty much a mix of everything, and it's the desire to do something special. It's a desire to create your own history. That's what we wanted, and that's where we feel in the middle of something, not at the end of something. But I say that already since a couple of years, and that's true. It's the end of something. We consider the end of something when we are not. When we finish career, that's the end of this period then of our lives. Until we finish our career, we have to give our everything. And I say it again, and like to say it, as long as you wear this shirt, less than 100% are not allowed. It's not my phrase. It came from the All Blacks, and I saw that already 15, 16 years ago in a nice documentary about the All Blacks, and I kept that always for myself, and that's for here each LFC player the same, and it's for me the same. So that's what we try to live, and that works out sometimes. Unfortunately, not all the time, because we are human beings.
That's a fascinating reference, John, to the All Blacks and the mentality behind Liverpool and Borussia Dortmund before then, presumably.
Yes, I think you see that increasingly, don't you? That the top coaches, well, all coaches at the highest levels, will reference other sports and other games. I was reading Trent Alexander-Arnold's interview with Jamie Carragher in the newspaper this morning, and they were talking about the what's the Netflix basketball.
The Last Dance.
Last Dance,
Last Dance,
yes.
yeah.
You know, he was talking about how they've all been watching the Liverpool squad, and how much they learned from it. And he was saying, you know, even if you're not a basketball fan, how much they gleaned from, you know, watching, you know, a great team, and how a great player inspired a great team.
I actually watched that. I actually seen all that footage the first time round. That tells you how old I am. I'm a massive Michael Jordan fan, huge Chicago Bulls fan. So to watch that, and then it doesn't surprise me that players have taken little bits and bobs out of that, how to apply yourself on and off the field, to become better every time you finish training. It was an amazing watch. But I've got to say, the All Blacks one that Jurgen Klopp is talking about is exceptional as well. So if you get a chance to watch that one, to be that good, and to be the best in the world, and to continue to clean the dressing room before you leave it. They find it clean, and they clean it when they leave the All Blacks. It's just incredible. Standards, dignity. I tip my hat to them.
There was a school of thought, maybe there still is a school of thought, Dion, that this could be a bit of a Pep Guardiola last dance at Manchester City if they do go on and win the Champions League. But even if they do win the Champions League, with the way this season has unfolded in the Premier League, will it have given him, do you think, more fire to come back and try and get back what they had?
100%. Absolutely. And, you know, any manager, Jose Mourinho, Pep, Frank Lampard, you know, I'm pretty sure they would have canned all these Liverpool celebrations and then just put their team in a room and said, there you go, lads, watch that. Wouldn't you rather be doing that? Wouldn't you rather that be you? Because there's got to be huge motivation, Steve, if people are doing what you think you should be doing. City think they should be champions, but they're way off the mark this season. Not in regards to players, because they're absolutely fantastic, but the way that Liverpool have played this season, you know, no one's got anywhere near them. They deserve all the plaudits they get.
They've certainly got a point to prove, they will feel, I think, Manchester City tonight. John, Dion, thank you very much. 8:15, we'll be back for commentary of Manchester City against Liverpool. The teams are out, though, at Bramall Lane. Two teams looking for European football, Sheffield United and Tottenham. The second half with Michael Brown and Alan Green.
I don't know what they're playing over the tannoy, but it's slightly noisy, considering there are maybe 100 people inside the ground.
It's the Greasy Chip Butty song, Alan.
Well, I don't know. It's the Chip Buddy song. No, I don't know it. No, I eat Chip Buddies, but that's it. No, I didn't know it. Sorry. We're underway. Start of the second half. No changes in the lineups, so I'll run through them right now. Starting with Sheffield United, leading by a goal to nil. Goalkeeper is Henderson. The defenders are Basham, Egan and Robinson. Baldock and Stevens wide. Between those attacking fullbacks, we've got Berger, the goal scorer, Norwood and Osborne. And up front, McBurney and McGoldrick. Tottenham's goalkeeper is Lloris. Their back four, Aurier, Sanchez, Dyer and Davis. Then Sissoko and Lo Celso. Then Lucas Moura, Son and Bergwijn. And finally, Kane, who thought he'd scored an equaliser barely a minute after Sheffield United took the lead. But it was ruled out by VAR, not because of anything that Kane did, but it appears that though Lucas Moura was fouled, he fell and handled the ball on its way through to Kane, who scored. It took a while for VAR to be brought into it, but VAR decided handball, no goal.
I think when you talk about it, though, I don't think he's not handled the ball. It's literally
hit him.
It's just
It hit
literally
exactly, yes.
ricocheted slightly as it fell off the side of his arm. Such a harsh rule.
Yeah. Ball is with Sheffield United on the far side of the field. It's with Stevens. Stevens lays it forward to Osborne. Osborne goes down. Has he been fouled, or is it merely a throw-in? It's a throw-in on the far side of the field. Thrown to McGoldrick. McGoldrick just outside the penalty area. Clips it to the left, and the attempted pass on to Osborne was intercepted, and now Tottenham counter-attack. It's with Lucas Moura, and then Dyer was pulled back as he joined in the passing movement for Tottenham, and it's a free kick to Spurs. 2 minutes already gone in the second half. They got considerable strength on the bench, Tottenham. Did they call on it,
Just a little.
Dele Alli was left out of the starting 11. I'm sure he would like to be involved in the second half. First, they got to get over the disappointment of not having that equaliser, Tottenham. Most of the players moaned at the referee at half-time. Jose Mourinho stayed out of it. Ball is with Tottenham. And played back by Aurier. Behind Lo Celso. Lo Celso turns and glares at the fullback, but Tottenham still have the ball. Played forward now by Davis to Kane. Kane turns away, looking to play a 1-2. Didn't quite come off. The return pass to Harry Kane wasn't great. Sheffield United challenge for the ball with McBurney, and McBurney on the second occasion won it, but his header only finds Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura forward into the penalty area. Still going Moura, trying to pull it back to Harry Kane. Comes back off, I think, a couple of defenders and behind for a corner kick.
Fantastic desire there from Lucas Moura down the right-hand side. He rides one challenge, then another. Manages to get inside the penalty area, trying to get his cross. And the I'm not sure if it hit Sheffield United's arm across. Not that he could do much about it, but that's better. That's what you want from Spurs players, driving into the box.
Tottenham all in sky blue tonight. Have a corner from their right side, played in left-footed, half cleared, up to the edge of the penalty. Bergwijn doesn't collect it properly, and it's the other number 23 who takes it away. That's Osborne for Sheffield United. He hits it over the halfway line, but unsurprisingly, United had everybody back for that corner kick, and I think they're going to be heavily on the defensive in this second half.
They could be, but I don't think they want to do it for too long. They want to know when they can counter themselves and get some possession, because the load in the possession starting to be controlled by this Spurs side. But just looking down to the left-hand side of us, you mentioned substitutions. Harry Winks, Dele Alli and Lamela. So they've certainly got some artillery that could be coming on very shortly.
Berger, the goal scorer, plays it to the right to Bulldog. On towards the Norwegian again, but the referee spotted a foul by him, and it's a free kick to Tottenham, taken quickly. It's with Lo Celso inside the centre circle, just over the halfway line now, and chipping it on towards Bergwijn. Bergwijn, well, handled that ball. He didn't chest it, he handled it, and it's a free kick to Sheffield United. Trying to slow things down a little bit already in the second half, the home side.
I think they've got to just try and get the pace of it. As I said, they want to try and move the ball around if they can. Spurs are controlling it a little bit too much.
Coming up at 8:15 on 5 Live, we'll have full commentary on Manchester City against Liverpool. Team news coming up in around about 5 minutes' time. Sheffield United play the free kick deep into the Tottenham half, and it's headed out of play by Davis. Throw in to be taken on this near side by Baldock, halfway inside the Tottenham half. Thrown to McBurney, back to Baldock, and a good ball forward by Norwood, and then McBurney's fouled, and it's a free kick to Sheffield United inside right position. Perhaps a little bit far out for an attempted goal, but who knows?
It's closer. Is it closer than the Harry Kane one in the first half?
No, I don't think it is. No.
Is it much different?
Given the angles, probably about the same lack of probability of a goal. We'll see.
He's got a nice right foot. Norwood. It was a wonderful pass to get the free kick into McBurney on the half turn. A clever pass. But as you said, they're probably looking more likely to go around the back post, the likes of Basham and McBurney.
Well, 3 players around the free kick for Sheffield United. And now it's tapped back for Osborne. Osborne forward, chipped into the penalty and just ahead of Robinson. Out comes Lloris, punches on the ball, and Tottenham survived that slight scare. Sheffield United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. 6 minutes gone in the second half here at Bramall Lane. Ball is back with Dyer. He seemed to be the most vociferous in his complaints to the referee at half-time about the ruling out of the Tottenham equaliser. Now that wasn't cleverly played on the far side by Aurier, heading it well wide of his attempted target, his goalkeeper Lloris, and it's behind for a Sheffield United corner. They're in no hurry to take it. Norwood goes across finally, and now they've got some tall figures to aim at inside the Tottenham Hotspur penalty area. Robinson is there, so too is McGoldrick. Norwood comes forward, right-footed, in-swinging corner, good punch cleared by Lloris. Clears the halfway line, or clears the penalty area rather, but Berger plays it to Norwood. Norwood, another deep cross into the penalty area. That's easier for Lloris, and he's quick to smash it upfield, left-footed in the direction of Son. Headed away by Sheffield United, and the foot was high by Sissoko. That's a free kick to Sheffield United.
It was a good punch there under pressure from Hugo Lloris. He come and took the danger away. That's what you want from your goalkeeper.
Norwich free kick, played carefully to the right-hand side to McGoldrick. McGoldrick knew it was coming his way, chased after it, kept it in play. Plays it back to Baldock. Baldock declines to cross. Now it's played to McGoldrick once more, just outside the penalty. He's tackled and loses it. Bergwijn forward. Bergwijn very quick over the halfway line. Well, he played it in the general direction of Harry Kane, but forgot there was a defender representing Sheffield United in their red and white striped shirts who made the interception. Sheffield United have it. Berger forward to McBurney. McBurney to Baldock. Back to Basham. And now it's with Robinson. Robinson, the left side of the 3 central defenders. Hits it forward towards the right. Header in field by Baldock. Doesn't find a colleague, but it's still in play. No, Tottenham have possession now. Sissoko to Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura stabs it again in the direction of Harry Kane, but not accurately so. You've got to give the ball to Kane, not just give it in his general direction. Oh, that was a poor clearance though by Sheffield United. Bergwijn collects it. Bergwijn crosses, hit to safety by Basham. Lucas Moura brings it down. Holds off 2 challenges. Tottenham have the ball again with Sanchez. Sanchez to Lo Celso. Lo Celso stabs it at the right-hand side. Aurier, the right fullback. Back to the halfway line in Sanchez. Into Sissoko. Now Dyer. Dyer in the centre circle. Moves forward, tries to find Son again. It finds a Sheffield United defender, but the clearance runs straight to Tottenham again. It's chipped forward and that's straight through to Henderson. Doesn't do any damage.
Not a great ball there from Davies. As we mentioned, the players warming up. Eric Lamela now kitted and ready. Wonder what he's going to change, if there's any sort of system change, whether he can make an instant impact.
Well, who will he take off? It's cleared upfield. McBurney hustling the defender, hustling him into a mistake. Good work by McBurney. Crosses into the penalty area. Cleared hurriedly by Tottenham. Only to Sheffield United's possession. Basham running down the right side. Good pass infield to McBurney. McBurney's caught offside, and it's a free kick to Tottenham. Well, it's Bergwijn who'll be brought off, replaced by Lamela. Thoughts, Michael?
You can just see there Bergwijn's got in some good areas. When he's got the ball, he's tried to drive and make things happen just before the substitution, actually. But Lamella's something different. I just think they need to get a bit of creativity, a bit more pace and power. I'd expect to see a steady flow of substitutions from this Spurs side if it stays as is.
Well, he didn't wait long into the second half before he made his change. We're just 10 minutes have gone by in the second half. Tottenham trailing Sheffield United by 1-0. Both teams need to win this fixture. We say that at every stage of the year, but it's just the way they've come back in the resumption of football. Too many points dropped and drifting away from the European places. A win tonight for either Sheffield United or Tottenham would rejuvenate their hopes. Now there's a free kick for a foul by Osborne on the far side of the field. Free kick to Tottenham. Lo Celso rushes across to take it. Lamela moves away. Kane's the only one inside the penalty area at the moment, representing Spurs. Now being joined by Dyer and Lucas Moura. Son is across there once more, so it's either the left foot of Lo Celso or the right foot of Son. Referee waits. Whistle blown. Free kick about to be taken. Lo Celso, left-footed, goes beyond Lucas Moura, but it's cleared easily by Sheffield United out of play for a throw-in. Let's get that important team news from the Etihad Stadium from John Murray.
Well, City have Foden and Eric Garcia back in the team. Jesus too, as they make 3 changes from Stamford Bridge last Thursday. Bernardo Silva and Mahrez are on the bench. Fernandinho suspended. And Liverpool are unchanged with Milner back among the substitutes.
Tottenham on the attack here. To the right of the penalty, the Sheffield United penalty, driven in by Aurier, cleared first time by the defender. Out of play for a throw-in. Taken by Aurier, and he's going to get another opportunity as well. Oh, Lo Celso decides to take it himself from a position 15 yards inferior. Keeps in Spurs possession, and now it's on the left flank with Davis. Davis lays it forward in the direction of Son. Good play by Basham, the defender. Fooled Son, and it's cleared by Henderson up to the halfway line. That was a foul by McBurney. Referee plays the advantage. Spurs still have the ball. Here's Lamela, the substitute. Only be on the field 3 minutes. Lamela in a central position. Lays it to the fullback. Davis crosses in low, deflects off the defender. Henderson, though, prevents it going behind for a corner.
Again, they just can't find those opportunities, that bit of quality as Lamela comes across the centre of the pitch. He sweeps it out left-hand side, as you've said, to Davies. But then have a little look up. He just sort of gambles with his cross, nothing to it really. You'd expect a little bit better from him.
Henderson clatters the clearance high. We lost sight of it above the roof of this main stand for a moment. It falls deep inside the Tottenham half. Son meets it. Son plays it forward to Lamela. Son was fouled. Referee plays the advantage. Lamela gets past the defender. He's approaching the penalty. Good run by Lamela. Still going strong, but finally doesn't get the pass to Lucas Moura, and he's complaining to Moura. I don't know why. Sheffield United clear it upfield. Met though by Dyer. Dyer back to Lloris. Lamela kept going. He did have out balls to both Lucas Moura and Kane.
He did, but once he'd done the hard work, Alan, I think he was brilliant as he drove through. But then as it opened up, he could have swept the ball out to the right-hand side. I think that's what they were complaining. He stayed on it too much and then finally lost the ball.
Yeah. Tottenham are going to see a lot of possession in this second half, like now. Balls with Dyer. Every Sheffield United player inside the United half. The pass forward, though, not collected by Kane. Goes back to Henderson, and Henderson clears it immediately. McBurney muscled down by Dyer and wins the free kick. Doesn't he work hard, McBurney? Goodness gracious.
Well, he does, and that's what I just mentioned to Steve at the half-time there about, I was just watching his work rate off the ball for his team, and they're under pressure, the ground he covered to get back in and help his midfield players, and that's what's needed when you're playing a technical side like Spurs, who can move the ball around, and as you're all compact right in the last minutes of the half. But we'll probably see a change soon for the front man of Sheffield United.
Oh, here's a good ball to the right-hand side. It's with Bullock inside the penalty area. Kaftetberger, the goal scorer. He crosses low, not brilliantly saved initially by Lloris. The shot driven in by McGoldrick into the side netting. Could easily have been 2-0.
It could have, couldn't it? And Berg coming down that right hand side. Great work from Baldock. There's a brilliant ball in. The goalkeeper Lloris can only parry it in, and there's a bit of hassle, but Osborne just manages to play it into McGoldrick's feet, and that's where you've got to go across the goalkeeper. He doesn't. He just goes across the front post into the side net, and he'd be disappointed that he can't get across the keeper.
16 minutes played in the second half. The scoreline remains as it was at half-time. Sheffield United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Here's Dyer for Spurs, who've already made one change. I think Sheffield United are about to make an alteration. It's the Frenchman Moussa who's coming on.
Lys Mousset, yeah, possibly. I'm just sure we'd do McGoldrick or McBurney.
Tottenham on the attack. Ball played in towards the edge of the penalty area to Son. Son back to Lamela. Lamela to Lo Celso. Lo Celso shaped it to shoot. Decided against it. Moura chips the ball into the penalty area. Baldock is there, and Baldock, careful defensively, sweeps it out of play for nothing worse than a throw-in. So, what's the change? Well, it's McGoldrick who's coming off. And meantime, his striking colleague McBurney gets fresh instruction from Chris Wilder. So that's the alteration. Mousset, number 22, fresh legs, fresh pace, fresh hope for Sheffield United, who are in a good position at the moment, leading Tottenham by a goal to 0. And if they win, they go above Spurs in the table. Throw-in is taken by Tottenham. It's back to Dyer. Dyer to Lamela, whose movement has seen him in possession quite a lot since he came on as a substitute. Here's Moura. Moura to Lo Celso. Lo Celso to the right of the penalty and leaves it to Aurier. Aurier plays it back. Lucas Moura keeps it in Tottenham's possession. It's Lamela once more to Son inside left position. Sheffield United have got all bar one behind the ball. Son slips as he plays the cross in. Headed away on the far side by Stevens. Sissoko from the clearance into Lamela once more. There are players free down the left for Tottenham. The fullback Davis. Davis crosses into the penalty area. Low doesn't beat the first defender. Headed away towards the halfway line. Good work by Dyer. Dyer forward, and then he delayed, and when he tried to slip the pass infield, it took a couple of deflections and was cleared by Sheffield United. That looked like a foul by McBurney. He got away with it initially, but the referee pulls the play back, and it's a free kick to Tottenham.
Yeah, he's took that back. I think it was the correct decision.
Yes.
From the referees, he's taken a bit of time to have a look. Great work rate again from McBurney, not giving it up, but on this occasion, Sissoko is too good for him.
19 minutes played in the second half. This is 5 Live on the BBC. To come at 8:15, full commentary in Manchester City against Liverpool. Here at Bramall Lane, Sheffield United lead Spurs by a goal to 0. Lamela to Davis, and on it goes to Son down the Tottenham left. Son into the fullback again. Played to Lamela. Lamela 25 yards out, looking to play a 1-2. Lamela inside the D of the penalty area. Claims he was fouled, but his pass wasn't good enough, and it's cleared by Baldock up towards the halfway line. Mousset is there. He's being hustled by Dyer, and Dyer fouls him, and Dyer complains to the referee. And not only to the referee, he complains to the fourth official as well. Lucky he got away with that without being booked.
Fantastic first touches for Lys Mousset. It's great forward play, gets it into his chest, holds it in, and turns Eric Dyer. He was unlucky to give the foul. I'm not sure it was a foul, but you've got to give credit there. But you know, for all the Spurs possession, 65%, still only one shot on target, Alan, and that's the thing they've got to improve. They've got to put more pressure on this Sheffield United side. It was only because of the Sissoko chance which really rolled into Henderson, which was very comfortable for him. They need to do a little bit better in the final third.
That win against West Ham was Tottenham's first in 8 games, and they've won only 3 of their last 21 Premier League games away from home. That's a record clearly that a club of Spurs pretensions have to improve on. trailing here at Bramall Lane. 1-0. Here's Sissoko. Sissoko to Sanchez. Sanchez to the right of the centre circle. On to Lo Celso on the far side of the field. Lo Celso plays it through the centre circle to find Dyer. Dyer to the left side in Davis. Into Lamela. Lamela spins away from Norwood and away from McBurney as well. Lamela, good work from him. That's a good pass to Lo Celso. Inside right channel. Forward he comes. Plays the ball left footed. Aurier crosses low into the penalty area. Cleared by a defender. Just outside the penalty area now. Lo Celso once more. Into Sissoko. Sissoko's strong. Flicks the ball back to Aurier. Aurier's cross low. Just short of Lamela. And Sheffield United clear. But they're under great pressure here. They clear it to Musset, and Musset handled the ball. And it's a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, just it's a hand. I think it was the correct decision. I've just watched Jose Mourinho below me. He was looking around, he's looking behind him, looking down the line. I'm thinking, who's he trying to find? It was Dele Alli.
Yeah, he's coming
right
on.
at the top end towards the corner flag. So
Ali's coming on.
Found him.
Without question, Lucas Moura might be making way. Such has been his relative lack of influence in a few minutes, to say the least. Ball's out of play. It's going to be a throw in to Tottenham. All the time Sheffield United are working so hard just to keep Spurs out, and you wonder, can they maintain this? We're approaching the midway point in the second half, but they must be tired out there, United, under pressure. Here's Lo Celso for Tottenham, playing it to Dyer, and Dyer onto the near side, and now it's taken up by Sissoko. Sissoko's pass was poor, and it's cleared. McBurney's after it. McBurney, Dyer across. Dyer hooks the ball clear over his shoulder. Good work this time by Sissoko for Tottenham. Still inside his own half. No longer. Forward to Son. Son on to Lamela. Lamela can't squeeze the pass through to Harry Kane, and it's cleared by Sheffield United to the halfway line. Spurs player slips, and now that McBurney has it for Sheffield United. Does he fancy taking on a few defenders? Well, he takes on one, then he checks. He works hard. I'm not sure he's got great pace, but that's great vision, playing the ball to the left-hand side. Sheffield United have it inside the penalty area now with Osborne. Osborne back, it's still in there, and there's its second goal. A second goal for Sheffield United. Musset has scored, the substitute, and having been under intense pressure for the whole of the second half so far, suddenly it's Sheffield United 2, Spurs 0.
Well, just as Spurs are trying to bring on the artillery with Ndombele and Dele Alli, it's all about in wide areas for Sheffield United. Just as they're camped out, managed to work it again. Great run from the left by Osborne. Manages to turn that little 1-2 and the ball across. I think it's Ender Stevens right into the path. He stood there on his own. Lys Musset for a simple pass as the ball's dragged in past the front of Hugo Lloris to make it 2-0.
Quite an advantage for Sheffield United, but two changes imminent now for Tottenham. Ali coming on, and Ndombele also coming on. So who's coming off? Well, maybe Lucas Moura might be one. It's Harry Kane. They're having a drinks break at the moment, so it's not altogether obvious who the changes are. Who'd you put your money on? I think Lucas Moura hasn't been great in the second half.
Well, that could be one of the changes for Delhi, possibly, yes. They've got so many options, this Spurs side, but it's going back to Sheffield United. They're right at the right time under a bit of pressure. Just to get that, that confidence to come out and make that extra pass. That's what they did, in a little bit of extra quality. And who's marking Musset in the middle of the goal? It's a simple tap-in. Such bad defending from Spurs.
Well, words from Jose Mourinho. He's in the centre of the Spurs grouping at the moment. He's talking about movement. You can tell because he's pointing all over the field. Why not movement there? Why movement here? So the players are ready. I think, well, one of them's coming off is Aurier. He's gone. Where's the fourth official? Holding up the numbers. Ali's on. And Ndombele's on. Is Sissoko off?
Yeah, Sissoko and Aurier.
It wasn't too obviously displayed by the fourth official, but there you go. Maybe I wasn't concentrating properly. There are the changes. Ali and Ndembele off Sissoko and Aurier. So let's see if Tottenham can score early and get some hope back in this second half. We've only got about 20 minutes plus added time to go. Sheffield United leading by 2-0. Still to come on 5 Live. 8:15 kickoff from the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City against Liverpool. Davis plays the ball in low. Collected by Ali. Ali in the penalty area, faced by 2 defenders. Tried to win a corner, just deflecting the ball off one of them. Didn't work out. And it's cleared, temporarily cleared by Sheffield United. Ndombele picks it up. Back to Lo Celso. Lo Celso now to Lamela. There'll be all-out attack from Tottenham Hotspur. And Sheffield United have shown they can catch them on the break with that second goal.
Alan, we've just discussed it. You can play in front of this Sheffield United side all you want, but it's shots on target. They've had one. That's what's going to happen. They've got to get into Sheffield United's penalty box much quicker.
Well, there was a clearance by Sheffield United, and now they can counter-attack here. Berger scored the first goal, holding off Lo Celso successfully, playing it back towards the halfway line, but it's intercepted by Son. Son for Tottenham. Son to Ndombele inside the centre circle, and then he clatters the ball towards the left-hand side. It's ahead of the full-back, and out of play it goes for a throw-in to Sheffield United. Just wondering if there's a fourth change being arranged by Mourinho. There seemed to be someone with the tracksuit off who sat down again, and then Mourinho retreated inside the dugout, perhaps for a final instruction. Well, this is a game that Tottenham can ill afford to lose. Dyer climbs all over McBurney, heads it successfully out of play though.
Just look at Sheffield United now. They're just working a throw down the right-hand side with Basham, just trying to take the tempo out of the game, just get a foothold again, just have some control. It's up to Spurs to try and get the ball back, get moving it as fast as possible. But since Mousset's come up and been that figurehead at the top of the pitch for Sheffield United, he's got hold of the ball really well, and he's keeping the possession going for them.
Well, some of the football is a little ugly from Sheffield United, it's got to be said, but it's working. They've moved from a position having a throw-in midway inside their own half to another throw-in level with the edge of the Tottenham penalty area. It's just down to hard work. And now it's played back. Osborne could have controlled that better. A yard outside the penalty area, didn't. Has to chase back now, trying to hold up Lamela's progress. Gets the tackle in. That's typical of the work rate of Sheffield United. Wins the ball for Sheffield United. Balls back into their penalty. Nods forward to Norwood. Norwood plays it back. Should be cleared by Egan, and it is cleared over the halfway line. Met by Dyer. Dyer attempted to pass the ball forward, and typically McBurney blocks it.
That's brilliant by Osborne. His work ethic's fantastic. So is McBurney. All the team are getting such good shape, making it hard, closing those gaps. Can they continue? Can they keep this up against the Spurs side who are going to start to take chances, trying to get these shots on target that we've mentioned?
Well, Tottenham have made 3 changes in the second half. Sheffield United have made 1. Sheffield United's change scored the second goal. They lead 2-0. And about 16 minutes to go of regular time, plus the added time that'll come at the end of the 90 minutes. Here's Ali. Ali, one of the Tottenham changes, back to Dyer. And Dyer sweeps it towards the far side of the field. Ndombele, a couple of step overs, slips the pass to his right-hand side. Lucas Moura in a wide position now. Back to Ndombele, into Lo Celso. Taken up by Lamela. Lamela. Lo Celso. Lo Celso's passes behind Harry Kane, and it runs harmlessly through to Dean Henderson, the Sheffield United goalkeeper.
You sort of questioning what type of shape are Spurs playing with. Is it a back 3? So disjointed. Davies goes all the way up, leaves the 2 central defenders, Lucas Moura high up on the right-hand side.
And there's more pressure from McBurney to prevent the clearance by Davis. It's out of play for a throw-in to Spurs. Taken by Davis to Dyer. Dyer hits it up towards the halfway line, towards Harry Kane. Kane got his head on the ball, but then he's challenged, and it's hooked out of play by Basham. Throw into Spurs. It's not that clever to watch, you know. It's not beautiful football out there at the moment, but it's successful football for Sheffield United.
Well, Sheffield United are doing their job. I thought it was much more open, much more attractive from Sheffield United in the first half. Seen them control early part with Spurs coming back into it.
Played forward to Harry Kane. Good header back by Kane to Son. Son then plays the ball behind Lamela. And Lamela gets to it, having retreated into Ndombele. Ndombele passes through. Kane is there. Kane's offside. Ball's in the net, but it was never going to count, and he would know that.
It's like Kane's touched the ball twice all afternoon, and both times they end up in the net. So the first one disallowed for the handball, the second one for an offside decision. So he gets in those key areas, but probably a little bit disappointed that he hasn't contributed a little bit more. And we talked about that, didn't we, about them coming up against Kane. It's back three, that's changed. You would expect it to cause a few more problems.
13 of the regular 90 minutes remaining here at Bramall Lane. 2-0 is Sheffield United's lead. Henderson's free kick after Kane was cut offside. McBurney jumps highest of all, heads it on into the penalty area, but it's straight through to Lloris. Lloris pulls it out underarm to Dyer. Dyer now to Davis on the left-hand side, the full-back. It chipped in towards Harry Kane, but eludes the Spurs captain and is chested back by Robinson to his goalkeeper Henderson.
Very cool, wasn't it? Under pressure, just have that composure to chest it back under pressure into your goalkeeper's hands. Great work.
Henderson clears it towards McBurney. And again, McBurney beats Dyer in the air, heads it on towards a colleague. It's headed back now to McBurney. McBurney tries to slip it through. He's still hustling for the ball, keeps it with Sheffield United. McBurney once more. This is great work from him. He goes down. He's not going to get a free kick for that though. Lamela comes away for Tottenham. Son's to his left. Lamela's looking to the right. There are more sky blue shirts to his right, including this one, Lo Celso. On to Lucas Moura on the far side of the field. They've got so many attacking players on the pitch, Tottenham, but I'm not sure what shape they're in. Here's Lo Celso. Back to Ndombele. And he slips it forward to Ali. Into Lo Celso again, inside right position, onto Moura. Moura just chipped across in high. It falls to Kane. Kane shoots. I think the whistle's already blown. Was it indeed a foul by Harry Kane, pushing the defender?
Is that a hat-trick for Kane? He's touched it three times. Yes. It's in the net 3 times, Alan. All of them have been disallowed. I can see Gary, our producer, looking at me straight away because we've just said it's a brace, and now that's 3. It's incredible. He's always in those areas, but it's just not really falling for the Spurs side at the moment. And you would have hoped they would have done better than they have today.
Well, they're going to make another change shortly. Tottenham Hotspur. This would be the 4th in this second half. But Sheffield United have control of the game at the moment. It's with Baldock. Baldock back to Norwood. Norwood chips it down the right flank. McBurney's there. And has he won the corner? Oh, well, he thinks he played the ball off Darren behind for a corner, but the assistant disputes that. And
it's been a good battle, hasn't it? It's been a good battle with McBurney and Dyer. Seen both competing, but physically at it. Tireless from McBurney so far.
Honest aggression from McBurney, and so effective. Spurs have it on the far side of the field. A little over 10 of the regular 90 minutes remaining here. Tottenham have to score very quickly to have any hope of getting anything out of this trip to South Yorkshire. The ball is back with Sanchez. Sanchez, has he headed the ball out of play? I think he has. It's going to be a throw into Sheffield United. Well done, Sheffield United. Continually putting pressure on. Now Vertonghen's coming on to replace Davis. So that looks as if they go to 3 at the back now. He can play, of course, as a regular left back, but more likely he's going to play as one of 3 at the back for Tottenham. But having to defend for the moment, Sheffield United have a throw-in on the far side of the field. In no hurry to take it. Thrown to McBurney, and he heads it back to his colleague. Osborne on the far side of the field. Helped out by Stevens. Stevens goes down. Doesn't get a free kick. It's a goal kick. Goal kick to Tottenham. Well, where's the movement now? The three behind Kane are Lamela, Son and Ali. But there are other attack-minded players a little deeper in midfield. The ball is with Ali. Ali with Vertonghen, the latest substitute, to his left. Ali plays it back into the centre circle to Lo Celso. 9 minutes to go. Sheffield United 2, Tottenham 0 here on 5 Live. Coming up at 8:15, Manchester City against Liverpool. Sanchez on the halfway line, right of the centre circle, tries to find Vertonghen, heading the ball to the left-hand side. It's headed out of play by Baldock. Throw into Tottenham, taken by Vertonghen. Now here's Ali. Back to Lo Celso, on to Lamela. Lamela slips the ball to the right-hand side to Moura. Moura crosses high into the penalty area. Vertonghen's there. It comes off of Sheffield United head though. Still just on the edge of their penalty area. That wasn't a good pass, and it should be cleared. And it is cleared by that man, McBurney, who I'm beginning to think of as man of the match for Sheffield United. He's just everywhere.
Yeah, he's right back in there defending for his team. Just watching the Spurs build-up, it's still quite slow. They're bopping it around in front of Sheffield United. Someone's got to make a run. Someone's got to force. Someone's got to create something, get a shot away. Still, it's just right in front of Sheffield United. You have it, we have it. The tempo's too slow from Spurs.
Moura, right of the penalty area, back to Son, into Lo Celso. Lo Celso tries to return the pass to Son, doesn't get it right. Cleared upfield by Sheffield United. And typically, Husset puts pressure on Sanchez and wins the ball from Sanchez. That's fantastic work. Now he wins a throw-in.
Yeah, but it's good work, but in this one pass, forward into a key area, the pressure's on from the striker. I know Sheffield United defending very, very well in good numbers, making it difficult for this Spurs side, but the quality they've got. Can somebody take somebody on? Can they get a one-on-one in a wide area? We mentioned the three in behind Kane or whoever it may be, Alec, but nobody's got in a wide area, got a one-in-one, made something happen, got a shot away. Look at the ability that they've got. But they'll play in front. This Sheffield United side will say thank you very much, play in front of us.
Champions League finalists last season, trailing here at Bramall Lane. Oh, lovely work by Sheffield United. Boltenberger inside the penalty, pulls it back and it's 3-0. Goodness gracious, and it's my man of the match, McBurney, who gets the third goal. How he deserves it. What a wonderful move by Sheffield United. What a great night for Sheffield United.
A fantastic goal. It comes down to desire, enthusiasm from a team who never want to give up. Sander Berg down the right, again a little bit of agility. He whizzes the ball in, and there's Ollie McBurney at the front post, not giving anything up, just flicks it into the left-hand side of Hugo Lloris, right in front of him with no chance. Fantastic ball, great run to make it 3-0 to Sheffield United.
Where does that man get his energy from, McBurney?
Well, that's desire, isn't it? That's what he is, Alan. Fantastic from him. He just doesn't give up. I think it's an example when you see this team like Sheffield United, when you're watching this game at home or listening to it on the radio about a youngster growing up, and it's never give up. This Spurs side have got all the quality, all the ability to go and hurt Sheffield United, but unfortunately they haven't matched them with desire, energy and effort today.
You just watch McBurney when he's sort of running around, not chasing after the ball, which is very rare, and he's really struggling. He's given up so much effort tonight, and then when he sees an opportunity, then comes the burst of acceleration, then comes the aggression. Terrific. What a great display from the Scot up front. Now Tottenham have a free kick, but surely have no hope now. 5 minutes plus added time remaining at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United lead by 3-0. They've got a free kick, Tottenham, from the left. Son's going to take it right-footed. Lots of Tottenham players inside the United penalty area. United with everybody back defending. Played in towards the near post, headed on by Dyer, cleared by Sheffield United up to the edge of the penalty area. There's Moura to Lamela. Moura again, back to Lo Celso. Lo Celso clips it forward into the penalty area, slightly ahead of the defender, and as he tries to cross it, well, it comes off the defender lifts onto the netting, and it behind for a corner.
It looked like the ball was too far away, but they managed to get a corner out of it. But now the tempo's on, put the ball in, let's put some pressure on Sheffield United.
Lamela takes the corner from the right, plays it in left-footed. Again, it's a Sheffield United head who gets to the ball first. Tottenham, though, attack once more, and they've won another corner as Vertonghen tried to cross into the box. Hits the defender, goes behind. Corner from this near side of the field. Son to take it from the left. Going to play it in right-footed. 4 minutes of the regular 90 to go. Played in towards the near post, and guess what? It's a Sheffield United header clear towards this near side of the field. Muset scored the second goal. Controls it. Plays it back. Knocked forward over the halfway line. And Berger scored the first goal, chased after it. But Tottenham have it once more. They haven't given up, Tottenham. It's just they haven't got enough ideas. Here's Lamela. Lamela on to Ali. Ali inside left position. Checks to his left, then to his right. Plays it to Lo Celso. Lo Celso slips the ball to the right to Moura. Moura crosses in low, deflects off a defender. Could have gone into his own net, but instead, is it behind for a corner? No, it's kept in play by Son. Son back to Vertonghen. Vertonghen crosses. Henderson punches the ball away with his right fist, and it's smacked to safety by Osborne on the far side of the field. And look at that. Muset chases after. I think he was fouled by Sanchez, not once but twice. The referee agrees with me and gives a free kick to Sheffield United.
He never gave that up. That's magnificent from Lys Mousset. Since he's come on the pitch, that energy, and rightly so, he got fouled. And just watching the replay back now, he got nudged in the back. He made himself favourite. He had no chance to be favourite. Sanchez got to be disappointed, but full credit to the front man for Sheffield United since he's been on the pitch.
Free kick to Sheffield United. The night could hardly have gone better for the Yorkshire team and Chris Wilder. And they're going up to 7th place as a result of this victory. 4 points behind Manchester United and Wolves, with their European hopes rejuvenated. And they're deserved. Having got that free kick, they moved it forward towards the Tottenham penalty area. Now it's run clear. It looked like a foul of Lucas Moura, not given. Berger won the ball fairly. Berger plays it to the left-hand side. On it goes by Osborne to McBurney. McBurney falls over. And the referee decided that McBurney went of his own volition, and it's going to be a free kick to Tottenham. Little disagreement between McBurney and a couple of Spurs defenders, and the referee's going to stop the free kick being taken immediately to have a word with the Scot.
I think the referee got that right. You're looking at Ollie McBurney when you're towards the touchline. You tried to buy the free kick, Alan, and he just fell down and fell on the ball, and referee wasn't having it. But once you get into an argument, then he's earned himself a yellow card.
But he's earned the applause of every Sheffield United fan who's listening on 5 Live tonight or watching on television for a great display. Sheffield United 3, Tottenham 0. We're almost in the last minute of the 90. Ball played to Ali, who almost forgot to collect it properly. Almost tripped on it. Just about kept it in Spurs possession. Spurs probe again, but not successfully so far. It's with Lamela. Lamela chips it forward towards the far post. Son plays it back, and Kane finally scores. Legitimately, Kane has scored for Tottenham Hotspur in the last minute. Spurs have a goal, but perhaps not much else. Sheffield United 3, Tottenham 1.
You put the ball in for him, you set and give him opportunities finally to move it. And now he goes out to the left-hand side. We mentioned wide areas. Why we're sitting here saying that's where you can punish Sheffield United. Son just plays the ball right across. I think it's just getting checked now, the goal, before we continue. But it's another tap-in for Kane on the back post. Very, very simple for him.
Well, the referee's standing around. We're waiting. Is it VAR again?
It's Son on the left-hand side when it's clipped over, whether he's in an offside position, I think.
Well, we're not seeing any VAR replay on the monitors here at Bramall Lane. But certainly they're not kicking off after the goal just yet. We're still waiting. Harry Kane's now looking to the referees. Why can't we get Sheffield United to kick off, and we might have hope and added time here? A change for Sheffield United. They're bringing on Freeman. That's one change. And McBurney is coming off. And he would get a standing ovation from 30,000 people if they were lucky enough to be inside Bramall Lane tonight.
There's a couple of people standing up. We're seeing his teammates down below giving him a good clap, pat on the back from all of the staff. It was fantastic from him. So the goal stands and 4 minutes added on, and finally they said Kane touches it 4 times, they all end up in the net, and he finally gets one.
It's true. It is 3 times previously his effort at goal ruled out, but not on the 4th occasion.
I mean, that's got to be some stat, Alan, for
Yes.
the amount of times he's touched the ball to put the ball in the net 4 times.
Musset fouls Sanchez, and it's a free kick for Tottenham. Well, with 3 added minutes still remaining here at Bramall Lane, Spurs just might feel if they can somehow conjure up a second goal, there is hope yet. The ball is in Tottenham's possession. Oh, that was careless. And Sheffield United have it back. Norwood slips it away. Osborne, who's had a really good game down the left side, runs forward. This time he's challenged by Lamela, and it squirts back successfully for Tottenham to goalkeeper Lloris. Out to Dyer. Ali is short. Dyer looking to play it further upfield, looking for Harry Kane, the captain. It goes towards Kane, but headed away by the defender. Now it's out of play, and it's a throw-in, not to Vertonghen and Tottenham, but to Sheffield United. And they know it. Harry Kane rushes to give the ball to Sheffield United, wanting them to get on with it. But they'll not rush, and why should they? Just 2 minutes of the added 4 minutes remaining here at Bramall Lane. 3-1 to Sheffield United. Still to come on 5 Live. Manchester City against Liverpool. Another throw-in won by Sheffield United, this one on the halfway line.
Yeah, they're just going to work it now, try and kill the remaining minutes. And they'll be quite professional with the job, and when they conceded that goal, you've seen Chris Wilder really annoyed. That tells you the standards he sets. You know, he doesn't just want to win the game, he wants to make sure he gets a clean sheet, keep getting good habits into his team, into his players. They're still shouting for decisions now, and
here's Sanchez, deep inside his own half though. On to Lucas Moura on the far side of the field, just over the halfway line, on the right side for Tottenham, but it's too sluggish. There's no real incision. Here's Dyer. Dyer moves into the Sheffield United half, plays it to Son. Son, who crossed for Kane to score, but that pass was intercepted. Here's Musset. Musset holding up not 2 but 3 Tottenham players and winning himself a free kick. That's great work.
I think he's been brilliant since he's came on the pitch. I think that's what he gives you. I remember being there on his first day at the training ground, and you could see his fitness. He had to buy into the football club, buy into what they expect from him. He's done that in little fits and starts. We've seen some real quality for him, but if he can do that a little bit more consistent, there's a real player there.
Free kick to Sheffield United, played towards the right hand side, towards Freeman, but it eluded him. It's out of play for a throw-in, and by my reckoning we've had our 4 minutes of added time. Kane heads the ball on, Lamela chases after it, intercepted by the defender, not one defender, 2 defenders, swept away by Stevens to partial safety. Moore on the far side for Tottenham now, into Lo Celso. Lo Celso slips as I thought it was a shot rather than a pass. He slipped anyway, but he's lucky that Spurs kept possession. It's played back in his general direction. It's with Son first. Son to Lamela on the far side of the field, just to the right of the penalty area. Lamela gets the cross in, too short for Kane, headed away and out of play. And we've had 4 minutes and 40 seconds of added time. The signal was for 4 minutes of added time. We've gone beyond that. Sheffield United win the ball, they win the game as well as the final whistle is blown. And what a terrific, emphatic performance by Sheffield United tonight.
Yeah, it was a fantastic performance from them, even when they were under pressure. The defensive unit, that back 5, stood very, very strong. The players in Norwood in front of him. We haven't seen much of Osborne, and Sander Berg had that quality. So it was a real good shape, real team ethic, with McBurney dropping in, McGoldrick playing his part, and Lys Musset coming on in the second half for a wonderful cameo to really put pressure on Spurs. Spurs played in front of them, but with no real conviction, and ultimately didn't create enough opportunities to try and get the points in this game.
So that poor resumption to the season for Sheffield United has ended here tonight with a wonderful victory against Tottenham Hotspur. Here at Bramall Lane, it's finished Sheffield United 3, Spurs 1.
85058 at 5 Live Sport. Terry, I've been a Spurs fan for 45 years. It just gets worse, if that's possible. Need to get Mourinho out now. Adam, seriously though, surely no game illustrates the demise of Mourinho excuse me, as a top-class manager more than that one. Neil, Spurs have near a fully fit squad, few games under their belts, up against a Sheffield United side in poor form. No excuses, absolutely none. And if they were to look for one, Michael Brown, if they were to mention the decision, the handball decision against Moura, which didn't go their way, still you have to say they didn't do nearly enough to get into this game.
Steve, they didn't do nowhere near, like you said. It was pretty, you could play in front at times, it looked attractive to the eye, but there was one shot on target off Sissoko, so there's nowhere near enough of that penetration getting in behind Sheffield United. I think they could sort of throw a glove over the front three at times, and they didn't go into wide areas. The second they do late on in the period, put Son out on the left-hand side, the ball comes across, they score the goal. I mean, we're looking at that from here. I'm not sure why they can't change it. I know it's not always that simple, but they've got some great talent as the Spurs side, but the energy levels, the desire didn't seem to be there, and the shape was obviously questionable, all inside of that back five, very comfortable for Sheffield United.
Can you understand the Spurs fans who are angry as well? Because it's not just one game. I know they had the victory over West Ham, but it's easy to forget that before lockdown, they were awful as well.
Well, they weren't great, were they? But I sort of give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt before the lockdown regards to the injuries that they had. It wasn't ideal, the players that they were missing. But now you only got to look on the bench what they've got, which we mentioned in commentary. Winks, Lamela, Dele Alli, Vertonghen, Alderweireld, £50 million on Ndombele. So it's endless amount of players that have got enough quality to win at this Sheffield United side. They've beat them because of the desire and determination when under pressure to not let them get near their goal, and then that bit of quality, they've gone and punished them defensively, which has also been questioned about this Spurs side. We've seen Eric Dyer slotting in at that central defensive role. He's tried to make things happen, he's tried to compete, but ultimately they just didn't have enough, this Spurs side today.
Are they a little bit like Manchester United pre-Bruno Fernandes, in that they just don't have anybody who is going to pick that lock?
Well, I think they've got all the players to be creative, but I'm not sure why they keep playing with that build-up. You're playing a Sheffield United side who are saying that's perfect. I mentioned in the commentary there was once where it went out to Davies where Son went short, Basham come tight, the space was in behind. I've seen it once. We didn't see them turn around and try to open Sheffield United up. They've got the build-up, and everybody knows that back five of Sheffield United with the players in front are comfortable when you slow the play down, and that's what they did. And at one point they didn't show any energy. And I've backed Harry Kane so many times. He got the ball in the net 4 times, but really other than that, yes, there was 3 of them all disallowed, but other than that he didn't really affect it. But I don't always blame him, because he's got so many bodies in and around him, because they're too slow in the build-up.
Spurs 9th then, 45 points. 7 points behind Manchester United in 5th. Sheffield United up to 7th, which would bring with it European football next season. In fact, 8th might bring European football next season. I mean, so many positives for them. One of the big ones, a goal and assist for Sander Berge, who came in with a bit of a fanfare. The fans have got a great song for him to the tune of She's Electric, but I think this is probably the first time we've really seen what he can offer. Yeah, we have seen that quality and involved in the goals as well, and just his touch, to get it out of his feet, that composure, to whiz it in the far corner past Hugo Lloris, and then on the third goal, magnificent play, just cultured inside of the box. So we have seen some good balls, some deliveries. He was one for me, is he going to get better? He had good feet, good ability, but the pace of the Premiership side playing in this Sheffield United side, which demands that, was going to take him a bit of time. So hopefully we're going to see him get better and better. 3 points now, Michael, between Sheffield United in 7th and Everton in 11th. So there's a lot of teams there competing for the Europa League places. As Sheffield United, one of those sides who, now they've got back on track, you would back them to have the kind of consistency that they're going to need.
But it's going to be tough for them. I think they need to get those players back that we've mentioned that they're going to struggle without over a longer period. I felt like if the Spurs side had gone at them, they maybe would have struggled, run out of steam a little bit, especially after playing Arsenal late on, pushing so hard. But they've got a desire and determination like nobody else, and it's great, and it's a pleasure to watch the sort of the team spirit they have. It's what Sheffield United's about, and Bramall Lane coming down, and the whole club, and they're really setting such a fantastic example. So I wouldn't write them off. They're going to keep going right till the end.
Big thank you to Michael Brown and to Alan Green there at Bramall Lane. What a result for Sheffield United. 3-1 winners over Tottenham Hotspur. I'm sure on the Football Daily podcast we'll be reacting to that big decision to deny Tottenham.